The U.S. interstate system was not irrational. For military logistics alone, it was one of the most strategically important infrastructure projects in American history. But systems do not arrive without consequences. While highways connected the nation, they also changed it. Small towns were bypassed, commerce concentrated, population clustered, county roads decayed, and responsibility fragmented. Over time, infrastructure became something more than transportation. It became political geography. I'm Parker, and on today's episode of The Government is the Problem, we're taking a look at roads, infrastructure, and how large systems quietly reshaped civilization. Before we criticize anything, we should acknowledge reality. The interstate system solved real problems. Military mobility improved, national logistics became much more efficient, and travel time across enormous distances collapsed. In a continental power like the United States, this mattered. Infrastructure is not merely concrete, it is a strategic capability. And in many ways, the interstate system succeeded exactly as intended. But successful systems can still generate unintended outcomes. With that said, roads are not neutral. They determine movement, trade, investment, labor flow, and settlement patterns. Once highways bypassed smaller communities, economic gravity shifted towards the interstates. Businesses moved closer to exits, distribution centralized, and travel patterns changed. Some towns adapted, while others slowly hollowed out. Not because someone declared war on them, but because movement itself had changed. Infrastructure decides which places are easy to reach, and over time, easy to reach places accumulate people, money, and political attention. One overlooked effect is that large systems prioritize large flows. An interstate closure affects freight, commuters, supply chains, and regional commerce. A crumbling county road affects fewer people. So, what gets prioritized? The interstate, of course, not necessarily because officials hate rural areas, but because high volume systems create stronger political pressure. The result is predictable. Major corridors absorb investment, while peripheral systems stagnate. And over time, the areas outside the major arteries begin to feel forgotten. There is another problem hidden inside infrastructure systems. Expansion is visible, while maintenance is not. Politicians cut ribbons for new lanes, bridges, projects, and expansions. Nobody celebrates resurfacing, drainage correction, preventative maintenance, or properly repairing existing roads. Maintenance prevents future failure, while expansion creates spectacle. And systems built around visibility naturally drift towards expansion over upkeep. Infrastructure, especially the interstate, also creates jurisdictional problems. Who owns the roads? The city, the county, the state, the federal government? The answer is often all of them partially. And when responsibility fragments, accountability fragments with it. Repairs slow down, coordination costs rise, and projects become procedural battles. Everyone has partial authority, but no one has total ownership. The result is a system where even simple repairs can take years. Now, an often unsaid truth about infrastructure is that as the system grows larger, it also becomes harder to maintain. More roads require more funding, more contractors, more administration, more liability management, and more long term upkeep. In essence, more of absolutely everything. And eventually, systems reach a dangerous point. Expansion outpaces maintenance capacity. And at that point, the system continues to grow outward while quietly degrading beneath it, not because nobody notices, but because maintenance is politically weaker than expansion. Understand that I'm not anti road or infrastructure. Right now, the interstate system remains strategically valuable, but that doesn't mean there aren't trade offs. The same highways that improve national mobility also concentrated economic activity. The same systems that connected cities also weakened many local corridors. The same layers of coordination that allow large projects also create bureaucratic gridlock. In short, large systems solve problems, but they also create new ones. Understand that infrastructure shapes civilization more than most people realize. Roads determine movement, commerce, settlement, and political relevance. And over time, large infrastructure systems tend to centralize attention, fragment responsibility, and reward expansion over maintenance. Not because of a conspiracy, but because of incentives. This is Anvil Hammer Forge. Let's get to work.